Going straight into webcomic spoilers, so if you don't want to know what's going to happen past what the manga is currently on, I suggest you check out now. Alright, this one is overdue for sure, but, better late than never, because this is something that definitely needs to be talked about, discussed, and analyzed, because it's insane. Like, I cannot believe how powerful Amai Mask truly was, or just truly is, since he is still a thing after all. But I talked about it in my reviews when these chapters first came out, but I didn't really get into it like I am going to get into in this video. So first of all, I'm just going to be doing, of course, the webcomic continuity. I'm not going to go into manga stuff because it doesn't matter with this. It's all going to change anyway. And my mask has different feats in both. So the thing that we initially thought about Amai Mask's power, or just where he was on the scale, is I guess the consensus that he was mid-dragon. I mean, I kind of thought that too. I was never really 100% sure because there was never enough concrete evidence or feats on him to say for sure if he is mid or whatever. But I think we all kind of agreed that he's definitely dragon level because his most significant feats are him doing pretty well against Black S. I guess he does the best against him of most of the S-Class heroes. I mean, way better than Atomic Samurai. The whole feats with him chopping through the hand of giant Black S. He's got to be a dragon, right? Black S, in that huge form, he's got to be a dragon at that point, right? So this is Amai Mask, handling a dragon with relative ease at this point, and also he's fighting him the same way that he fought Atomic Samurai, all splitting up, all grouping up on him, and he's still beating him down. And actually, he's being real pompous during the fight too, because Black S says the iconic, you looking down on me. He's like, shut up, and he just blasts through his face. This is pretty impressive. Black S, obviously one of the strongest monsters, probably the strongest cadre, and yeah, my mask's doing pretty good. I mean, it gets to the point of where Atomic Samurai himself straight up says that, you know what? My mask is pretty strong. He is S-Class level. I guess I was wrong. And I'll even go as far as saying he's pretty much on par with Black S. So yeah, pretty impressive. And this was kind of Amai Mask's power coming out party, I guess, because before this in the webcomic, we didn't really have a good idea. Yeah, he dominated Super S or Goddess classes. And as expected, because she was just a low demon probably. And then he went against If You're Ugly, and then, the whole bad matchup thing. So we never really got to truly know, what that matchup meant. Other than, I guess, Amai Mask was durable enough to take a beating from a dragon, even though the manga is kind of, shedding light that maybe If You're Ugly was kind of just, tormenting Amai Mask. Rather than trying to, beat him down and finishing him, he was kind of just, playing with his food. So that's why Amai Mask was able to come out relatively unscathed from that one. And then after that, he got completely dominated by Awakened Garo, but we can't really hold that against him because, everyone got dominated by Awakened Garo. But then after that, the trail or the lead on Amai Mask's power kind of went cold after that because his storyline kind of went into a different direction and then the webcomic went on hiatus. So, there was just we didn't know. But now we know for sure, considering the webcomic came back with chapters 118 through 122, we got the full reveal of Amai Mask. He is a monster, of course, and then we got to see his, I guess, the true extent of his power. At this point, we still don't know the peak of it, but this leads into the title because he is way stronger than we thought. Because, like I said, for years, we only had the whole Black S, If You're Ugly, Goddess classes stuff to go off of. So in retrospect, I'm thinking that Amai Mask, or in his human form, was a dragon, a low dragon, possibly something like a really competent low dragon. The way that Hero Hunter Garo was a really competent high demon, which makes him seem like he could have been a dragon or something. And Amai Mask, he seems like he could have been a mid dragon because he was so good as a low dragon. And of course, we're just all guessing and estimations here. And I think that makes sense given his fight against the pesky clown, which we're going to break down right now because that's the whole crux of everything. And then when all the balloons pop, then he's like, oh, he might be demon or above. But then, of course, it's revealed that he is a full-blown dragon. Once all the balloons pop and he becomes big hulking monster. Amai Mask straight up confirms it himself by saying, shocking, that's a level dragon. So I think that's interesting for Amai Mask to say because it's not like he's never encountered one. Like we talked about, he fought two dragons by himself pretty much in Black S and If You're Ugly. So this could mean that the pesky clown, once he becomes the Hulk form, is stronger than Black S and Fear Ugly. Now, not Black S as a whole, of course. He doesn't have the crazy abilities, but I'm saying like physicality possibly, because go back and compare the fights. I mean, like, Amai Mask is practically dominating Black S compared to what the pesky clown is doing to him here. Like, it never gets close to the damage that he takes. Like, he gets sent into that Ferris wheel. He's almost down for the count and everything. And then, like I said, with Fear Ugly, there's no real way to say how competitive or how hard Fear Ugly was trying, because it seems like he was trying to break him both physically and mentally. And we also never got to see Amai Mask go against Fear Ugly's transformed state, so I don't know. That's kind of like a non-issue at this point. I think we should probably focus more so on Black S, since that is actually definitive. But I think it's fair to say that, you know, he's physically stronger than Black S at this point. And it's at that point that Amai Mask goes into his true monster form, and the spike in power is significant. It's like, you know, a character from Dragon Ball going Super Saiyan or something. Like, the multiplier is that crazy, because he goes from getting dominated by the pesky clown dragon level to destroying him like he's like a tiger or something. So what does this mean? Amai Mask might be a high dragon, because like, if Amai Mask, like we were talking about in his human form, at the peak of his power, without going into the monster stuff, is like a low dragon, somewhere around there. I mean, he's got to be if he can fight against Black S like that. Or if that's not good enough for you, just say Amai Mask is like above demon or whatever. Or if you don't even like that, high demon. It doesn't matter. But if he's going from getting dominated by a dragon to utterly dominating the dragon, then does that mean that it's higher than mid? Because would a mid completely destroy a low like this? I'm thinking that this has got to be like the gap, similar to the gap between Bakuzan and Goketsu. And I'm not saying that Amai Mask is as strong as Goketsu. I'm just saying, you know, the difference between their levels of strength and power here. So if we go further, you know, after he gets completely dominated at first, then he transforms again, and he becomes like the four-armed, huge, you know, mouth in his stomach monster form. Now, I don't know what he is here. What was he originally when he transformed into like the Hulk dragon form? Was he a low dragon at that point? Was he mid? I mean, maybe he was mid because he was beating Amai Mask so good, possibly, but at this point, with the forearms, is he high now? I mean, I guess he's kind of has to be, because now he seems to be competitive with Amai Mask, who was already exhibiting levels of high dragon power. So does this make him one as well? I don't know, because then like Amai Mask just beasts out of this and then, you know, busts his mouth open and then, you know, gives him the good old one punch to the head, and, you know, it's game over. So was he not high dragon, or are they both high dragons and Amai Mask is just a stronger high dragon, or was he just mid? Regardless, I'm thinking this means for sure Amai Mask in his monster form is a high dragon. I mean, come on. I don't know about the pesky clown monster, because it's a little too difficult to say right now for him. I mean, it's up for you to decide, just like everything. But Amai Mask, wow, what a powerhouse. And so well-rounded, too. Like, super fast, super skilled, super strong, super durable. You know, took that beating from Fear Ugly, had the Ferris wheel, you know, collapse on him after getting smashed into it, was conscious after getting beat by Awakened Garo. So there also might be, like, one more thing that cements this, possibly, you know, maybe not, but we got to go over it. Because, like, when a Saitama shows up to, you know, Amai Mask after he defeats the clown monster, like, Amai Mask grabs his head, and he's like, look, you know, just take me out, Saitama. If you don't, I'm gonna crush your skull. The monster version of me is pretty strong, isn't it? Now, Amai Mask is one of the few characters who earnestly understands the power of Saitama. He knows that he is the one above all. And still, despite of that, he feels that he can crack his skull with this level of power. So, I mean, of course, I mean, he can't. But I think this is just, like, letting us know that, like, Amai Mask himself knows for sure that he is probably high dragon or around there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. Let me know what you think about Amai Mask's strength. And if you want me to make a video on the pesky clown, like breaking him down, all of his abilities and everything, let me know too. And if you liked it, please give it a like. I also have a Patreon. It gives you access to a weekly Q&A. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.